Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of Who's Who Interviews right here on the UGA Media Network. I'm your host, Miss Koko Bowden. Y'all, I am so excited right now because this is just something that we all need in our communities. We're going to be talking about mental health and grief support, and also some pictures that can, capture the moment and make you happy. So mental health and grief support are so important when it comes to dealing with the loss of a loved one due to the senseless act of gun violence. It is because of pictures that we are able also to capture our best and worst moments in life that help shape our future. Today, my guest is my family, y'all, my cousin, and is the mother of two, God-fearing, faith-walking, and is making it possible for grief support and therapy to happen in the lives of children that are struggling with the loss of a parent due to senseless gun violence, while capturing the smiles of many others on their special day with her photography skills. Let's give a warm-hearted welcome to the founder of Naraya's Way and podcast and the CEO of Trust and Belief Photography, Tenisha Dunlap.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? It's Tenisha.
All right. So thank you so much for coming on. I know it took a lot, because we're so busy these days. We just are. We don't even know why half the time. We just are.
That's really true.
But I do appreciate you taking the time to come out.
No problem.
I just want to say, first of all, I am so happy to have you here on today. It feels like, women honoring women from one mother to another, from family to family, just honoring one another. And I am thanking God for you and how you have used your platform, strength, and courage to give others hope and to give life and to capture moments, unforgettable moments at that, in time that are priceless. So tell me how, well, first of all, because my audience don't know you, so tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm here from Montgomery County in North Carolina, and I am an avid photographer, North Carolina photographer that takes pictures of lifestyle portraits. And lifestyle portraits are just pictures of families, children, engagement, maternity, weddings, all of that good stuff, just capturing the moment. And one of my mottos for my business is, one thing that I say is I always capture real laughter, real smiles, and real emotions. So if anybody ever, looks at any of my work, that's one thing that you will always see throughout my work is, that real laughter, those smiles, and those emotions. And I've been taking pictures for 10 years, going on 11 years in December. We have a photography studio in Asheboro, North Carolina, that, we take pictures in there for different things such as like headshot sessions. We do birthday sessions that are now becoming real popular now, different things in the studio, all kinds of different pictures.
That's awesome. So what inspired you, or should I say got you started taking pictures?
Well, I always get this question. One thing for sure, growing up, I always loved the camera. And according to our family, my aunt, she said that my mama always kept me taking pictures. So, I can attest to that because I can look back. I can see all the photos that I used to always go in and take. But as I got older, I was the one in high school. I always had the camera. I always took pictures. I just loved taking pictures. I loved to be able to take them of people, and I loved to be able to be in front of the camera. But it was one Sunday I was at church, and Pastor Sherry had said, you ought to go back and pray and ask God to see if this is, is this your gift? And I prayed on it. I got me a camera, and here I am now going on 11 years. So it was just my thing. It was a gift, truly. It was.
Wow, that's amazing. And you see how God can just use, he can just use the smallest things to help us unfold our gift. And, I mean, whenever I saw you doing it, I was like, she a natural. And you're already a natural in front of the camera. Like you said, your mom, she had pictures for days. I'm trying to tell you. She had those pictures for days from the time you were born on up. And so when it comes down to working your gift in photography, how important is it for you, far as your faith goes, to use your faith to help you decide, how this picture going to be, how that picture going to be?
Well, I just get creative, honestly. I always ask, I always ask God, help me to be as creative as I can, because everybody's different. You have some people who are shy in front of the camera. You got some people who are naturals, and they just, come ready to work. But I always encourage people, even when people come with their kids and they're just getting photos done, I always encourage them, get in a picture with your kids. Do, even if it's just one, I'm always encouraging them, to get in front of that camera and, getting those smiles done.
Oh, yes. So what so far has been your favorite setting?
I would have to say families. And sometimes I can get big families and sometimes I can get small ones, but I really believe that families are my favorite one, because it's just when families get together, they realize, because there's not a lot of photography studios anymore like it used to be, like Walmart, Portrait Studios, Sears, and Olin Mills. Now, I think a lot of people have saw, even down due to just this last year with COVID, that, we're losing people left and right. And then, when they do lose someone, the families are looking for a photo and they don't have one to, a nice photo to put on their loved one's obituary. So families would definitely be my favorite.
Awesome. I noticed that a lot of people are dying so unexpectedly, and whenever you do look at the obituary, it's just like a regular phone photo, or just something. Most of the time that I have seen, a lot of the pictures aren't clear, and
that's right.
I think that whenever you do photo sessions like this, it does bring the family closer together, and it gives you an experience of love and compassion toward one another that you wouldn't get, by taking a selfie. You don't get that by taking a selfie. I mean, really, anybody can take a selfie, but it really takes courage sometimes to get with your family and get behind that picture, and, take that picture. It takes courage. Like for me, it took me a long time before I would take a picture. But once I got started, it was like no stopping.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the longest session that you've ever had?
Oh, my goodness. It would have to be a newborn. Newborn sessions, they are really tough when you have those babies that just come home from the hospital, newborns. And that's one thing that I dislike. That would be my least favorite when shooting photography.
Okay, so I do see where your daughter works with you as well when it comes down to working with the kids and taking pictures. What part does she play in it?
She plays a major part, actually, as far as getting the smiles, because a lot of times when kids come in, when they see my daughter, it's much easier for them, I guess, because she can make them smile, versus me being an adult. They don't really take to me that well anymore. I don't know why, but it's, when she's there, it's easy for her. So I guess it's only because, they can relate with her being a child instead of, it's me being an adult. So she helps out with, the smile. She helps with taking my behind-the-scenes photos, helping me clean and set up this different sets. So she's definitely a number one assistant.
That's awesome. Now, does King help too?
He has. He actually has been starting to get in there with the babies as well. They're taking to him too, because with me, like I said, of course, you know, with babies, they may be afraid of this big black thing on my neck. They don't know, you know, because they're so used to their camera phone, the moms and the camera phone. But when you got this person that you've never met and you're coming, you know, to this studio and somebody's holding this black big machine up to you, it's frightening. So King, he helps.
That's good. That is so awesome. You know, that could be turned into a family legacy. You just never know.
It really can. That is very true.
Yeah. I mean, they both are getting the experience now, and you just don't know how God is going to work that thing. I mean, all things are going to work for our good, and that may be it, you know. Now, for you, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to put in there, that's true, because as much as my daughter says she doesn't want to do photography right now, she did just sign up to be on the yearbook staff at school. So, you know, they put her as number one to take photos. So it definitely could be a legacy thing.
Wow, see there. Congratulations to Naraya. Congratulations, baby girl. You see, it's already playing in the play. I mean, you just let it unfold naturally. I mean, because yours unfolded naturally, and whatever God has for them, it will unfold naturally as well.
Definitely.
So, now, when people come to your studio to book a session with you, what is some advice that you could give them? Because sometimes, you know, people want to bring a lot of clothes, and then sometimes people want all these wig changes, and, you know, they want you to do a whole lot of that. So what you know, it can be stressful. You know, people don't know no better. And so help the people out. Help them out.
Well, one thing I have learned definitely when taking photos of everybody, a lot of people will come, say like it's somebody that don't wear makeup all the time, and they'll go out and they'll get their makeup done, and they'll see themselves not with all of this makeup, and then when they see themselves on camera, it's not them, you know, so they don't feel like, you know, this is not me, you know, I don't really like all of this makeup. Or say like if, you know, they have black hair, but for this photo session, they're just going to try to go, since it's fall, they're going to try to do an autumn color. So they put in an autumn color. So one thing I always suggest to people is don't try something new when you're first taking pictures. Now, if you're a pro at taking pictures, if you're a pro at, you change your hair up all the time, you wear makeup every now and again, and you know how it looks, then go for it. But if this is your first time trying all of this stuff and trying to get in front of the camera, I wouldn't suggest that. I would just kind of suggest, you know, be yourself the first time around, you know, get your hair done like you normally would get it done so that you can really feel yourself. Because there's nothing worse than coming to a session. And I've had many people that have done this, you know, they came, they're taking the pictures, and they say, like, Tenisha, it's not you, it's me. It's just, I'm not feeling myself, you know. This is not how I'm usually dressed, or this is not the way I wear my hair. And so it just goes downhill from that.
Oh, my goodness. I had no idea that happens. You know, really, I didn't. Yeah. I mean, I know they be bringing a lot of stuff, but I didn't know that they could, you know, feel so bad about themselves, you know, just looking different. And maybe, you know, maybe they could, like, do a session to affirm themselves or something, you know, the day before or a week before leading up to the session, you know, to help them get comfortable with doing new things, you know. Some people just don't like new. They don't like different. They just like being just them. And like you said, they wait till the last minute, and then it's a disaster because they're out of their comfort zone.
That's it.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you let the people know. So y'all know now, whenever you get ready to go, make sure that you're not going and waiting till the last minute to try something new. I would say if you're going to try a new style or something, try that style the month before. And if you don't like it, you know, don't do it. Don't do it. Do something else. Keep trying till you find you.
Or just go with your regular.
Yes. Go with your regular self. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. I mean, so many people just get carried away these days. I mean, I like either way, though. Sometimes I dress crazy. Sometimes I just dress, you know, plain Jane. But it's a blessing to be able to get those photos because they're so important. I know photos that I have seen from the 1800s and the 1900s, in our family generations, and some of those photos are so beautiful, and it's like those people, they really dressed their best back then. I mean, they look really good.
They did.
And it's that fact of just having the picture there, though. That's where you really feel that joy is knowing that you can see this picture even though that person is no longer with us.
Definitely, yes.
And that brings us to our next topic. Kids, they grieve, adults grieve as well. But sometimes, we have families that lose a loved one unexpectedly, and that can shake the whole family up. And that happened to you and your daughter a few years ago. Can you give us a little bit on that and how Naraya's Way Foundation came about?
Definitely. Naraya's Way Foundation, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we help children that have lost a parent due to the act of senseless gun violence. In 2012, Naraya's dad, which the foundation is named after, he was murdered at a party due to senseless gun violence. And from there, 2 years after, I had started this nonprofit organization because I saw that, right after that, of course I was young, I was 24 at the time, but I had just saw how it was nothing out here that, helped children, and I know there are other things, but it was no one that we could relate to, you know what I'm saying, with the gun violence, because I talk with a lot of, other, grieving foundations, and a lot of them are due to car accidents and sudden death in certain other ways. However, when it comes down to gun violence, that happens a lot in our Black community, and we want to be able to have those children to be okay with open up and, telling what's going on, in our homes, So Naraya's Way Foundation was birthed from Naraya's dad passing in 2012.
Okay. So how old was she at this time when he passed?
At that time, she was 4.
Okay. And how did she take it? I mean, did you see any changes in her as a parent?
I did. I really did. At 4, she really didn't understand it. And even now when I ask her, she's now 13, but if I ask her, certain things now, she doesn't really understand, or she couldn't really remember certain things. All she knows is that, okay, I don't have my dad present, so it's always going to be that void because she's growing up and she's seeing other people who do have, their dads there.
When it comes down to Naraya's Way Foundation, what services do you offer?
We offer grief support, and we also offer, now we're bringing in a new program, youth development, because we understand that after we help you with the grief support, we want to also encourage the youth to continue to go to school no matter their circumstances. And we want to also, just encourage them to go off to college and get a job and, try to keep them on the right path no matter what has happened, in their lives. And we also offer education to where, we're educating our parents on things that they could do once they have lost a loved one. We have a caregiver survival checklist that will help parents just keep things in order down to their family documents, because, every situation is different. You'll have some who, the parent is gone and now the child has to go with grandma, or the child has to go with the uncle. So we educate the caregiver and the parents.
That is amazing, and that is so needed. And I love the fact that, you really stepped up and you did this out of unconditional love. And you did this at a time when your heart was wounded as well. I mean, it wasn't like, 2 years is enough time to heal, but you stepped out during the pain, and you have birthed something so beautiful. And I watch it all the time. I watch everything you do, first off. I watch all the time, and I be like, oh, my God, look at it. That ain't nothing but God's grace, because baby girl's still going. She could be broken down, but she's still going. And you are such a great example for other women, young and old, because we have older women, too, who just give up. But you got back up. You took time for yourself, and you got back up, and you came back and you said, look, I'm going to bring my daughter up, too. And I'm going to bring the other children and parents up, too. That is, man, that's huge. Don't you ever let nobody tell you that ain't nothing, or that's just a thing that you're doing. That's a big thing. That's big, because mental health is big, and I don't think people realize how ruined a child's life can be if they don't have somebody there to say, hey, look, I've been there, and we're going to just get through this together. We can get through this together. When I saw some of the other people that you had at some of your events, I was like, oh, my God, look at there. I could, like Sammy's daughter, I just saw a smile on her face that, it made me tear up and smile, too, because I saw the healing working. I saw it, and it's just amazing. So just in case, if there are parents out here, because parents don't know everything, first of all. We never know. We don't know when tragedy is going to strike. But somebody may be listening today that can help somebody else that may be facing the same thing. How do you tell a child that their parent has passed away?
What we do, which is the hardest thing ever, is we have to tell the truth. That's one thing in my grief camp that we are really big on, because you don't ever want your child to grow up and then they hear the real story from someone out in the store, or someone out of the family. So one thing that is the biggest number one thing is just to tell the truth, no matter how bad it was, how much of a tragedy it was. You have to be honest. And then that's the point to where it gets you to, okay, now we have to sort through this thing. We have to get used to our new normal. Because the one thing in our foundation that we understand is that healthy grieving is important for everyone. But you can't get to that place until you know the truth about everything. And it hurts, but, with children who have their whole life ahead of them, it's so important that they know the truth from the beginning.
I definitely agree on that, because if the truth is not out there, it's just going to sit around, and the lies are going to start floating around. And then when they get older, I had an experience with that, mental health thing with my son. When the lies got older, as the child grows, the lies do too. And it came back around, and it just destroyed him to a certain point where I had to come back and fix everything that was told to him, and it was not easy. So telling a child the truth, it means so much, and they're going to thank you for it when they get older. They will.
Yeah. So, and it hurts, and it may be confusing then, but like you said, they will thank you for it later.
Yes, they will. They will thank you for it. And another thing I want to ask before we get ready to go, and I'm going to let you give all your information, how they can sow into Naraya's Way Foundation, and also how they can book with you for photo sessions. But what's the difference between a child's grief and an adult's grief?
Well, for children, I would say that what we're trying to teach them how to go ahead and express their emotions and share their feelings. And we put them around others who can relate and understand. But I just feel like with adults, a lot of us have learned behaviors that we don't, we have to unlearn some stuff as far as, we're taught to kind of, in the Black community, be strong, don't, be strong, hold your head up, keep going. But there has to be days where you do have to just say, look, I need 24 hours to get myself together, and that's okay. But I do believe that children and adults do grieve differently. I do.
I do too. I think so too, because I've seen, with my organization, we do a lot of work that's similar to what you're doing, but we're nowhere close to just being with the kids like you are. But when I see that, I see a big difference between the adults and kids. And the fact that you even, you're doing this, you're making a difference in those children's lives. And when they get older, they might not be able to express it to you right now, but when they get older, when they come back to you, I mean, that's going to be a beautiful sight, I'm telling you, because you are doing such an amazing job doing what you do. Now, those of you that are listening, now you heard us just talking about the work that she is doing as far as community support, grief support to help our children out. And, Naraya's Way Foundation needs your donation in order to keep these services going and so that these services can be free to these children. And so if you can give your information out so that people can donate towards your services.
Okay. Well, you can make a secure donation online at our website, and that is www.narayaswayfoundation.org. And Naraya's Way is spelled Nariah. Or you send a donation by Cash App, and our cash tag is the $ Naraya's Way.
Awesome. And how can they book with you with Trust and Believe Photography?
Well, all you got to do is put us in on Google, and that's www.trustandbelievephotography.com. And if you go into the website, just go up to investments, go down, and you can book a session online. And as always, I always tell people, if you have any questions, always just give me a call. We can talk it over to see if we're a great fit.
Awesome. And last of all, do you have any encouraging words that you would like to share with the listeners, especially those that may be single parents now that are dealing with the loss of a partner?
I would definitely say just try to introduce them to someone who can personally relate to them. If you can, try to break that isolation that they feel. Look up different therapeutic services. And just make sure you identify, when you do see them not doing the right thing, as far as if you see them make a change in their behavior, go ahead and take a step and find help right then and there. Seek help and don't be afraid of it, because we can still call on God and we can still go to therapy.
That's so true. Y'all heard what she said. We can call God and still go to therapy. All right, Miss Tenisha. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your life and your works with us. Thank you so much. I have truly enjoyed you. I am inspired by you. I may be older, but I'm still inspired by you.
Well, thank you, cousin. Thank you for having me on. This was
You
great.
are welcome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. You are welcome, and this will not be the last time that I invite you. And the next time you have some events going on, let me know, because y'all, Naraya's Way needs volunteers as well.
Definitely.
Do you want to say something about that before we go?
Well,
totally
anytime.
Slipped my mind.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Anytime you guys, if you are in the North Carolina area, Montgomery County area, we would love to have your support by volunteering at any of our events that we do have. If you need community service hours, we are always having something that we can, give. So you can reach out if you want to volunteer to let your voice be heard.
All right. Thank you, and God bless you. You have a great day.
All right. Thank you. You too.